The TCL Note A1 NXTPaper promises the feel of writing on paper and a more comfortable reading experience. But does it deliver on that promise? Today we're going back to this channel's roots for a no-spec tech review, where we might talk about specs, but they're not the point. I think this is a fantastic device that'll be perfect for a lot of people, but I'll also recommend a similar device that offers a lot of the same benefits for a much better price. If you're working on living a more intentional lifestyle, then this might be right for you. My favorite part of all the NXTPaper tablets is the display, and I'd say this one has the highest quality. It gets bright enough to read outside, dim enough to take notes in the dark, and the anti-reflective display is crisp with just the right amount of vibrance. The T Pen included with this specific tablet is the best I've used on a NXTPaper device. The first video I ever did on this channel was on the NXTPaper11, and my reaction to the T Pen was not the most positive. I've since grown used to that one, but if this T Pen was included with that device, I would have had absolutely zero complaints. There's no noticeable lag, no page refreshing, and multiple built-in writing options. In terms of the writing feel, I would place it between the iPad Pro and the Remarkable Paper Pro. As great as the writing experience is on an iPad Pro, I find it to be a little bit more slippery unless you opt in for that matte display that is quite expensive. So Remarkable Paper Pro, NXTPaper Note A1, and iPad Pro with the standard glass display. Another benefit is the battery life. It lasts all day and isn't even something I had to think about once. I would use it all day and still have about 40% left over when I got home. Now, the biggest advantage to this tablet, it really aims to be a notebook and a productivity tool. The website mentions creativity features, but until they do some updates, if they do, I wouldn't recommend this for artists. If you're looking to focus on reading and writing, then this might be a great device for you. But listen to the cons, because this is a lot of money you'll be spending if you purchase it for the current price listed on Amazon. You'll notice the reviews on Amazon are negative because of that lack of the Google Play Store, which there is a workaround to. You simply go into the Edge browser, go to google.com so you don't have to use Bing, search for Aurora Store download, just download the latest APK file, navigate to your downloads folder, install using the file you downloaded, and the Aurora Store should now appear in your app drawer. It's quite a few steps, but pretty simple, but kind of feels like unnecessary work on a tool aimed at productivity. I'm sure there will be people who disagree with my experience, but as someone who is moderately tech savvy, if some things weren't worth the headache for me, they're probably not going to be worth the headache for the general population, which is who this video is aimed towards. And speaking of which, I've linked a few alternate options in the description below. Specifically, the NXTPaper11 Plus. With that one, you get way more features for less than half the price, just in a slightly less premium form factor, but still high quality. That one comes with the 3 different display modes, so you can set it up to essentially look like e-ink, and it also comes with a matte display and a 120Hz refresh rate, so you won't notice any lag when writing or taking notes. And as of this recording, it's on sale, which is an incredible deal. Those links won't cost you anything extra, they just force Amazon to give me a small percentage of their profit as the person who referred you. But moving into the cons, I do love that this tablet wants you to focus specifically on your notes, but I really struggled with PDFs and couldn't find a way to get ebooks on here without downloading the Kindle app, which I had to download a third-party app store for. So unless you have your ebooks saved in a PDF format or can access them through the Edge browser that's included, you're going to have to download the Aurora Store, which again isn't very difficult, but you shouldn't have to take extra steps for such basic conveniences. As of right now, the Note A1 is clearly going to be more beneficial for those integrated in the Windows ecosystem. Most of the default apps are Microsoft-based, but for some reason they didn't choose to use the Microsoft Office suite. And again, there might be updates. This is a week after I received the device. So I guess my big problem is the identity crisis that this tablet is having, combined with not really being up to par when compared to competition. And even though I praised the feel of writing on this tablet, the same can't be said about the accuracy. It often misses first strokes or ending connections. Hey, what's up? Editor Torpal here. I just want to say I'm about to be a little dramatic about the first deal breaker that I experienced, but please put yourself in my position. This is the first time I'm going to use this tablet outside of testing it over the weekend. And I'm in a meeting with a bunch of important people I don't know, where everyone has a notebook and I have a tablet. So for all they know, I'm playing on my iPad. That's just giving you a little bit of context leading into my overly dramatic story, but hopefully that helps you understand. The first meeting I brought this tablet to, I was unable to use it. There was no way to turn off audio from the lock screen. So I have to put in my 6-digit PIN because the fingerprint reader wasn't working, of course. There are no manual volume controls on this tablet, right? When we took a break from the meeting, I lowered the volume all the way, When we came back, I went to enter my PIN and we were getting the beeps again. Turns out there's a separate setting in audio settings under notifications. Very frustrating, and that might have been the moment I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I definitely could have had my mind changed at that point, but based on everything we've talked about in this video, the NXTPaper11 Plus is the tablet I would go with if you were looking for something this size, and it doesn't offer the same AI capabilities in terms of voice recordings, meeting audio recordings, and being able to ask questions and summarize from there. But I really didn't notice enough of a difference between using Google Pixel's recorder or iPhone's recorder. You can get the transcript from either of those and plug it into ChatGPT or Google Gemini and then ask questions the same way you would be able to with the TCL. As far as effectiveness goes, I used it to record a couple of conversations, a couple of brain journal entries, and on iPhone and the Google Pixel, it'll identify the speakers as you're reading through the transcript. On this one, it identified the speakers once I used the AI tools to give insights. Again, this is my opinion. I just can't in good conscience recommend this product. $700 for this is, I don't think that that's okay. If it were the price I paid for it when I pre-ordered it, I'd be like, you know what, maybe it's worth it. Because this display technology is wonderful, but the execution just doesn't cut it for me. If you go with one of the other NXTPaper devices, I've been using Jnote for writing and the Kindle app for e-reading and comic books. The NXTPaper11 Plus is less than half the price. And for me, the feeling of writing is identical between the two. So if you're looking for a purely note-taking or e-reading tablet, I'm going to go ahead and link the Note A1 just in case you still want to go with that one, but also 4 other options that are similarly priced or much more affordable that I think would be better options for most people. And let me know in the comments if you're going to go with this tablet, maybe consider the 11 Plus, or if you're just going to go with something entirely different. I'm really curious to see what people who are interested in this device would end up going with. Once again, I'm Torpal, your nerdy neighbor. Thanks for stopping by and have a beautiful day.